Revolver is a 1973 police thriller directed by Sergio Sollima, who made one of my favourite spaghetti westerns, The Big Gun Down, with Lee Van Cleef. Revolver has also gone by the name of In the Name of Love and Blood in the Streets. I don't really know what the difference is between all of them. I think In the Name of Love is the British version. Anyway, it stars Oliver Reed as a former tough, rough but honest cop, Vito Cipriani, who's now a no-nonsense head prison warden. One day, he comes home to find his wife missing and receives an ominous phone call telling him to orchestrate the escape of a prisoner named Milo Ruiz, played by Fabio Testi. It sounds by the numbers, but the story is surprisingly complex and ever-changing, as numerous hurdles are thrown into Reed's path as he becomes more frustrated and desperate to bring his wife home. Deciding not to contact the police for fear of his wife may be executed if he does so, Reed interrogates the prisoner and even gets him out of the prison for the swap deal to take place, telling Ruiz to contact his friends and tell them he has helped free him and to give him his wife back. Bizarrely though, Ruiz has no idea who wanted him out of prison, and all of Vito's underworld contacts confirm that Ruiz is pretty much a bum, not very connected. So Vito is left scratching his head, wondering what all this is about and how to get his wife back. The subsequent events involve shootouts, stakeouts, the underworld, police and political corruption, and an Oliver Reed in fine form as the tough-as-nails Vito becoming more and more unhinged and exasperated. The characterization is really quite excellent, because whilst the mystery surrounding the story is what's keeping you watching the movie, Reed's character goes through a very interesting transformation as someone who starts off as trying to uphold the law but finds he's simply an ant in a corrupt system he cannot stand against, and if he is to succeed in his goals, he must compromise his values and morals. I only really watched this film because the music was done by Ennio Morricone. He is the only film composer that I'll watch a movie for, and the music really is great. The main theme was used during a significant death scene in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, and it is a really sweet and sad theme, bittersweet I'd say, in conjunction to the film's events and themes. There's also another brilliant track also, one I had heard on the internet before I watched the film, a badass theme that is used during the prison escape. And for someone who watched the movie for the music only, I seem to have hit it lucky because this was a great little film. Tense, intriguing, and with a strong performance from Reed to carry the movie. It was also superbly shot by Sollima, who pulled off some really creative camera work to keep even the most Miagra of scenes entertaining. There's a notable lack of traditional reverse shot in the film. Instead, the camera is placed at all sorts of inventive places and angles, with quick zooms here and sweeping panning shots there. One of the standouts is in the opening scene, where a man buries his friend and while he mourns him, the sun is perfectly positioned behind him to give the shot some real power. Another is during a scene where Reed and his wife are making out, and the camera is placed at foot level. All we see are their legs, and she's standing on his feet, and the two are slowly walking to the bed, and occasionally amongst the giggles, a tie falls down, a shirt, and then a blouse. You get the idea. But I really like it when filmmakers go out of their way to inject some imagination into their camera work. Revolver contains all the hallmarks of an Italian 1970s poliziesque movie. Bloody shootouts, police beatdowns and executions, but as well as all these classic ingredients of the subgenre. The film also contains an actual plot, a really interesting story and a bite at some complex themes. It's the thinking man's poliziesque, adding nuance to the characters and greater reasons for all the beatdowns and all that kind of stuff to exist. There's an intelligence to this film that I suspected would be the case going in, since I was surprised by the depth of The Big Gun Down also. Next to the likes of Sergio Leone and Sergio Corbucci, Sollima might not be the most well-known Sergio of his generation, but he's carved out a respectable corner for himself in Italian cinema with this film. I give it an 8 out of 10.